Hi folks, so I picked up this the other day, the Roland Jupiter 6. Now, if you watch my videos, you know I've got a Jupiter 8 in the corner already. But I saw this, it was quite a good price, I just couldn't resist it. It sounds quite a bit different from the 8. The 8 is very majestic and beautiful. It's got the big wide stereo thing going on. This is mono. It's kind of thin and gnarly and brutal, and it's got a ton of character. You know, I think it's more characterful than the Jupiter 8 actually. I really love the sound of it. You know, you might think thin, brutal and gnarly are not good qualities, but I've got all these massive polysynths, you know, the American ones like the Moogs, the Oberheims, the Prophets. They're all beautiful, thick sounding. So sometimes it's nice to have some different sounds to go to. And this is very inspiring. I've sampled, by the way, 6 patches that I programmed myself, note for note. They go into Logic Sampler or Contact, not the free version, but if you've got paid version Contact, you can go in there. The link is below. If you're interested, you can check out a video showing the sounds. They sound really cool, actually. It's not very expensive. Go and check them out. Meanwhile, I'll show you around the synth. By the way, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and click the alert bell, because YouTube's always trying to bury me. I need your help. Please click the alert bell. All right, let's get started. Okay, so you've got 2 oscillators, same as on the Jupiter 8. The only difference being you can have more than one waveform at the same time, which is quite cool because you can have, like, for instance, a saw and a pulse together. And then if you automate the pulse with LFO or whatever, or envelope, you can get a kind of a chorusy sound. It's not 100% smooth though, how it modulates the pulse, but it's part of the character of this synth. Smooth is not what this synth is all about. You can also sync the oscillators either way or both together, which is pretty weird. So if I put the 2 together. If you're in sync mode, you can use the LFO or the envelope to change the frequency of the synced oscillator, and you get these cool kind of synced sounds like. And you can make use of that with this second LFO section here, which also has options for the pitch bend. It's quite cool because you can choose to bend only one oscillator. So if I choose just the synced one, I can automate that kind of sound like that. You can also get it to affect the filter, which is great. You've got this wide mode whereby you can really very 80s kind of sounds. I love this performance LFO here. You can delay it coming in, and again it can alter the filter as well as the pitch. The thing about this synth is it's pretty brutal sounding, you know. It's not fat at all, it's really thin sounding. It can sound really nasty, the resonance is quite harsh. this has given me another tone. It's given me some different sounds. And I can see why a lot of dance producers have got into it, because you can easily produce crazy noises on it. The LFO goes up to audio rate, which is pretty cool. Get some crazy sounds like that. I'm using unison mode there because it is quite thin sounding and it just does fatten it out a bit, especially for these kind of sounds. The unison mode isn't as impressive as on the Jupiter 8, because on the Jupiter 8 you've got this stereo thing that happens. You put it into poly unison, it just goes massive, and it's a big feature of the Jupiter 8. But they're quite different synths, you know. The Jupiter 8 is just mostly quite beautiful sounding. It's a lot more tame sounding than this. This can sound downright nasty, can sound bad, but it can also kind of sound a bit more brutal. And I love the fact that just one oscillator like this, one oscillator's got loads of character. It's a bit more polite on the Jupiter 8, to be honest, but the Jupiter 8 does have this beautiful stereo stuff that you can do. Also on this one, you've got a little bit more flexibility with the cross mod, because on the Jupiter 8, it's just got a manual mode like this has. I know it sounds like it's just a noise, but you can get some cool effects. You have to really dial it in just right. You know, you just tend to use a tiny bit of it. But the cool thing is here you can use envelope 1, so you can have just a real tiny touch of it. If I use envelope 2 to control the filter, that's where it's quite flexible, because you can choose envelope 1 or 2 to control the filter. Moving over to the filter, another difference with the Jupiter 8. The Jupiter 8 has a high pass filter that you can't modulate, it just thins out the sound, or a low pass filter which is switchable between I think 2-pole and 4-pole. This one is just I think a 4-pole filter, or a high pass filter, or a band pass filter. You can't have them all together, but they're very characterful. Here's the low pass filter. You can hear that stepping up. You can pick out notes. And you've got a high pass filter. And I really love this band pass filter. You can send the LFO to the pitch, the pulse width modulation, as I've mentioned before, the filter and the VCA. You can also reverse the polarity of envelope 1, which is always a great effect. You've got this glissando here as well as portamento, which is quite funny. It just does it, so you can pretend that you can play super smoothly. Oh, needs a bit of a tune-up. But I quite like it with... Don't know why, but I just kind of think of this synth as a funky synth. It's great for making these thin, kind of snaky little sounds.
you.